Okay, now.
Oh, we have to go.
Yes, I know. I know. It's all my fault anyway. Where's John? Is John still around?
John is, which John? John Gray, John?
Right, the final member of the Planxty group is Johnny Moynihan. Good evening, Johnny.
How are you doing?
What is it? I don't know.
Alright.
How are you enjoying the
Doesn't
show?
matter down. Very well. It's been much better than the last one, I think. You know, it's the most enjoyable tour I've been on with Planxty yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Right, in the group now you play guitar, fiddle, penny whistle.
Yeah. Well, I play bouzouki normally, but the last 2 days my bouzouki got broken, and for the last 2 days I've been playing a guitar which is strung like a bouzouki.
I saw the broken one. Actually, it looks broken in a strange way. It rather looks as though it banged over somebody's head.
Yeah. No, somebody stood on it actually. It was unfortunate. It was a complete accident, but one should not bring good instruments to pubs.
Yes.
That's what it is.
How long have you been with Planxty?
Just over a year.
Just over a year.
Yeah.
And what were you doing before then?
Well, I was playing on my own, and before that I was in a group called Sweeney's Men. We made a few records. Andy Irvin was in the group also. And before that I was on my own again. I'm just going right back, 10 years more.
Yeah. What's this half drum you play?
It's a tambourine, but it's called a boron, which is a Gaelic word, and it's made from the skin of a goat, and it's quite thick, which gives us this sound which is not like a drum used in a drum kit.
Yes.
It's more sort of a gutsy sound. Can't really explain it, but it's played with a stick, which is held. You use both ends of the stick, and you hold the boron vertically, and then you wag your hand up and down, like sort of rotating it at the wrist, and this sort of rolling rhythm can be produced in this way.
So it's a single drumstick with
a sort of knob at each end, and by varying the angle of your wrist, you can use the second knob, so you get double beats, or sometimes you can just use the one knob, So that's the way it works.
What nationality is it?
It's from Ireland. It's a traditional Irish instrument. Yeah.
Oh, so I thought it. Oh, somewhere in the back of my mind that it came from Greece or somewhere like that.
No, the bouzouki does.
Oh, the bouzouki does.
No, the boron is still played traditionally in Ireland, in the west and the south.
Last night you only featured the fiddle on one. You do call it a fiddle as opposed to a violin.
Well, yeah.
On one number. Is that because of the arrangements that have been done for last night, or you just don't play the fiddle very often?
Well, I don't play the fiddle very much. I don't consider myself a fiddle player, really. It's a very difficult instrument, and I can play a few tunes, fairly easy tunes. Jigs are easier than reels. So on those jigs that we did last night, I do play the fiddle. I would like to use it on more numbers, but when I joined the group, I was needed as a bouzouki player, because the bouzouki player had left the group when I joined. Now that Paul has joined the group, he's a guitar player and bouzouki player, and I may be able to use the fiddle more.
I see.
Yeah.
The bouzouki, that's obviously a Greek instrument. Andy plays the hurdy-gurdy, and there's an organ featured on stage as well. How do these instruments fit into an Irish folk group's lineup?
Well, they seem to fit in very well. First of all, a bouzouki is just like a big mandolin, and mandolins and banjos have been used in Irish folk music for a good few decades now, since the turn of the century. And they're strung in the same way as a fiddle, but of course you cannot do the same thing as you can do with a fiddle. You can't get the same expression into a fretted instrument, or you can't get the same expression using a plectrum as you can using a bow. But you can use more strings at the same time, and you can incorporate chords. So it's a matter of what you lose in the roundabouts you gain in the swings, you know?
Yeah. I don't actually question the validity, but it's just that a lot of the tunes that Planxty play come from the 18th and 19th century,
Yeah.
when I would think that bazookas were unknown in Ireland.
Yeah.
So how do you justify their use?
Well, we don't actually justify the use, but there's no need to, yeah. We do our best to play the music that we know and love in a way that does it well, rather than making a hames of it, making a sham of it. And using these instruments, it is a bit of a problem, you know. They do lack the expressive qualities of the more traditional instruments, but we're working on it. And anyway, we are a group, and we are not for traditional musicians from the last century. We are a group in 1975, and that's what we're doing, you know.
That are available to you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. If they had been available in the last century, I'm sure a great tradition of bouzouki playing would have built up in Ireland. As regards the harmonium, that's such a beautiful instrument in itself, there's no problem. And anyway, it's rather like the drums on the pipes, or the regulators on the pipes. You know, it's a reed instrument, and can be used in much the same way. Again, it doesn't have the expressive quality of chanter of the pipes.
You just use it on one number.
Yeah, we intend to use it on more. We used to use it on more. It's just that's the way the program is at the moment.
I see. It's got a lovely sound.
Oh yeah.
It's mellow.
Yeah,
Mellow
beautiful
sound.
instrument. Yeah.
And how do you describe Planxty? I mean, it's normally described as being Ireland's #1 folk group, but you're more than just a folk group.
Well, first of all, I don't know who describes us as Ireland's #1.
Well, that's how you do it. Anyway.
Yeah, we are. I suppose we are at the top of the scene, but to say #1 would be very unwise. There are several folk groups in Ireland that have achieved as much or more, and we all sort of regard ourselves as being all of equal prominence.
Yes.
Sorry, what was your original question?
Well, how do you describe the group? Is it a folk group or is it a group of musicians?
It's a group of musicians who have a great liking for the traditional music of Ireland and are playing it in the old way and in any new way that seems to them to be right. You know, it seems to be fitting. That's all I could say. And also we sing and we do accompanied songs, which of course other groups do. You know, it's always very difficult to describe yourself. You know.
You only do one song in Gaelic, and even then you share that with the English.
Yeah.
That was Coonba.
Yeah.
Was this just for the continent?
The fact that we did it in English as well.
Well, no, that you
Or the fact that we only have one.
put in one Irish number.
No.
Only.
There's only two of us that speak Irish in the group, and one of them is Liam, who doesn't sing. Although he does, on the quiet, I think. And I've never heard him sing.
Well, surely he sang 12 months ago here.
No.
I thought he did.
No. Now Paul is the only singer in the group who speaks Irish. So we do another Irish song actually, completely in Irish, but we didn't do it last night. It's called Banfágin. It's on a Planxty record.
It is, yes.
So, normally we do it in a program, you know, so we've got two Irish songs. But it's just the fact that there's only one of us singing in Irish, and the songs he sings he's only got enough time in a program to sing maybe 4, 5 songs.
Yes.
And he likes singing the ones in English.
So it's nothing to do with the audience at
No,
all?
not really, no.
What's next for for Planxty now. You've made the top, whatever your modesty compels you to say. You have made the top.
Oh, thank you.
So you must go from strength to strength.
Exactly.
You're going to the States next. You want to knock the States out. To what degree? You're an underground cult in the States now.
So I was all believe.
Without knowing what you're all about. Where do you see Planxty ending up?
Well, I myself don't look into the future very much. The immediate future, yes. I see it as a continuing process of working on the music so that it is it has a meaning in a group context, you know. This is the whole thing. We could all sing individually, play individually, but we're in a group, so we've got to work on it individually and in the group context, and just continuing on doing it. And if people ask us to play different places, then we play these places, you know, whether they're States or, you know, it's not something I think about, sure.
You don't want to achieve this stardom that the...
I'm completely without ambition.
What part of Ireland are you from?
Dublin.
From Dublin. It's a good place to come from. We live in Coolock now.
Yeah.
Just outside.
Yeah, it is nice.
Might run into you next time I'm home.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Nice to meet you.
Johnny, I won't take up any more of your time. And best of luck at the tour. Germany. And Belgium.
And Paris.
And Paris.
Yeah.
With a bit of luck, I'll get home to England in time to catch your British tour.
Lovely.
Hopefully, anyway. Thanks again, John.